Hi, I'm Jordan Lamp.
And I'm Israel Pipe.
And we're here to show you some easy, quick wrestling moves that can help you win in every match. The first move we're going to start with are takedowns. Takedowns are pretty easy. They're generally worth 2 points in matches. The first one we're going to go over is called the outside single leg takedown. Okay, what's going to happen is this will be my lead leg. And it's going to start off with a basic level change, basically meaning I'm going to go below his body level. So level change, I'll go down here, and then I'm going to shoot for his left leg, or his right leg. So level change, come down, my lead knee will hit the mat, my right hand will come around and wrap the ankle, right here behind the calf. And my other leg will swing here and get ready for some torque action. Then what I'll do is I'll grab here with my other arm, and I'll drive the side of my head right here into his hips and his ribs, like so. The next move I want to do is push off and lift off of my left leg while I'm pushing this way with my head, as such. Coming up here, and as soon as I have him up, I'm going to trade off my right hand and leave my left hand on his leg and grab his other calf and pull back, like such.
Okay, so what we are going to go over this time is the counter to the outside single. What's going to happen is you're going to have your hands out, so when he shoots in, as soon as he comes in, you're going to put your right hand on his head, or whatever, if his head's on the other side, your left hand. Now you're going to sprawl, but as doing so, you're going to push down the head, and since his arm is on the inside, I'm going to block this arm and come to the outside and score a takedown myself.
So don't forget a couple key points for the outside single leg takedown. First, the level change, the quick shoot, hands on the back of the calf, head into his ribs and his hips, lift off and push off with this leg while driving this way, bring around, pull his leg out, drive into the mat.
And a few key points with the counter to the outside single is when he comes in, throw your hips in, push the head down, block the arm, and just spin to the back. What we're going to do now is called the outside single. Generally with this, it's something that you would like to set up. And the way you do that is by manipulating your opponent, by making them step. A lot of times I like to push, they like to push back, pull them in, and they step in with that leg. So I'm going to predict this, or try to predict that. But when he comes in, I'm going to step to the outside, right? I'm going to spin around to the out, right? Now, a key point to this is to put your head into the hip, and then come, lift and bring up. And personally for me, I like to view it as like any type of table, anything. You always want to attack someone's weakness. So I would push, and then bring in, and then circle towards that area, and then cover.
Now I'm going to show you the counter to the outside single leg takedown. Okay, as I mentioned before, he's going to be trying to jar me and get me off balance and move into his move. So what I'll be doing here is I'll move in, he'll go for the shoot. First thing you want to do immediately is to sprawl. So I'm going to sprawl, and while I'm down here, I'm going to take this left arm, and I'm going to do what's called a cross face. I'm going to bring it here, I'm going to turn his head to his right, and I'm going to grab his tricep under here. And then what I want to do here is pull the tricep towards me, causing his shoulder to drop. So I'll pull that. Now what I want to do is get a dominant position. I want to try to rotate behind him. So I'll come around behind him, shuffle. I'm going to bring my right arm, bring it underneath his body to his right knee. I'm going to pull that knee toward me, like so. Now that's going to do a couple things. Not only is it going to be the takedown, but it also could score a near fall, or I could finish it and go into a full pin.
Alright, quick overview of the outside single. Like before, I'm going to jar him and get him to where he steps in hard to the outside, put the head on the hip, hands on the ankle, scoop it up, dig in the armpit, and then take them to their weak side.
Outstanding. Now I'm going to show you the counter for that move. Okay. Now he'll be jarring me up, trying to get me to step in. I'll step in. Immediately I'm going to sprawl, cross-face with my left arm, pulling his tricep toward me. Try to move around behind him to get the dominant position. At the same time, my right arm is going to go underneath him to his right knee, pulling it towards me and getting him down either to a near fall or a total pin. All right, now we're going to go over some basic breakdown, a basic breakdown, and also a stand-up. First breakdown I'm going to do, generally known as the bulldog. It'll be when I start in the referee position. And you'll notice that my opponent's toes are curled. This is a great opportunity to use this move. So the first thing I'm going to do, I'll be in the referee position, which is basically having my right foot about in the middle of his 2 feet. On my left knee, I'm going to do like a Coke can grip on his left elbow. I'll have this arm underneath on his belly button. So I'll be down here with my head on his back. As soon as we can go, the first thing I'll do is kick my legs back, or I'll kick this right leg back here. And then what I'll do is I'll bring my right arm and try to cup his ankle right here. And then with my left arm, I'll bring it all the way underneath and trap his right knee. And then as soon as I have this position, I want to just bulldog my way through him, knocking him down and such. This is a great move to get him down quickly, and very easy to score a near fall and possibly a pin.
So what we're going to go over now is a good stand-up. Get down the referee's position. For this, it's kind of a quick move. Everything's kind of simultaneous. Simultaneous. I'm a wrestling coach now. I want them to get an answer. Anyway, what you want to do, you want to pop up. And when you pop up, you want to bring the elbow in so you can't trap it, and put your hand on this hand, and you want to grab at the hand so it can't grip anything. Don't grab at the wrist, but at the hand. All right. So when you do that full speed, you're going to do that. You're going to pop up and then stand up with it. So with your opponent, he's going to follow after you. He's going to stand up. He's going to try to wrap in, and since you're going to block, put this down to your hip. You're going to hip out and turn to face your opponent.
Okay, we're going to review really quickly the key points to these 2 moves. First move is the bulldog. So I'll be starting from the referee position. Left hand will be kind of Coke can grip on his left elbow. Right hand will be over here by the belly button. Head down on his back. First thing I want to do, kick out. Bring my right hand, cup behind the ankle. Left hand, come underneath and grab his knee. Pull both toward me and push, drive forward.
In the stand up to it, key points is one, when you pop up and you bring your shoulders up, you're going to bring in your elbow and you're going to grab this hand. And at the same time, when you do that, you're going to pop up and come to your feet as fast as you can. Bring this to your hip, pop out, and face your opponent. Okay, what we're going to go over now is a near side cradle. This is going to be in the referee position. So the opponent's going to get down, of course, and get into referee position. One thing I want to make a key point is when you put your leg back here, angle it as if you're going to drive through the person. When you come here, you're going to instantly just drive and put pressure up top. And at the same time, you're going to take this knee and put it up either by side or on top, right? So you're going to drive, put your knee up, chop into the leg, arm, and then you're going to just cradle down. And a huge point right here is to have the wrist and the elbow and just separate and to keep the legs up from him frailing around. So remember the key points to the near side cradle. So drive him forward, bringing the knee to the side, arm chop, and to bring it in. So you bring it in and keep the legs elevated and keep this tight to keep him from getting away. And this would award you 3 points if you hold them there for 5 seconds.
All right, the next move we're going to cover is very easy and very effective. It's called the Fat Man Armbar. There are many variations of arm bars. This one just tends to be easier for bigger people to use. Basically, you want to start out however you want to do it. You're going to want to break down your opponent, get him to be on his stomach. The position you want to start in is you want to have this knee up here in his crotch area, your head on his back, and with your left arm, you're going to come underneath him and try to control his left wrist, right here. Okay, and now first thing I want to do is I'll start here. I'm going to want to bring my right leg out, like this. And then I want to try to pull his wrist out and bring it behind his back here in the small of his back. Now to do this I need to use a fair amount of torque because he'll be trying to fight me. So what I'll do is I'll use my hips to help. So I'll have him here, bring this out, and then I'll pull his arm out, lifting up with my hips. So it'll look something like this. Okay, now what I want to do is I want to try to lengthen his elbow out completely and straighten it out. And then put it here in the back, in his back. Otherwise I'm just baseball batting his arm. So what I'll do is I want to bring it here, and I want to have both hands controlling his wrist. Now what I'll do is I'll bring both my knees up, and then I'll just want to try to use my weight and my arms pushing his wrist out to roll him onto his back, like this. As soon as I accomplish this on his back, I also want to bring my arm around his head, and just to help the position, like this. And from there I'll have a near fall and possibly a probable pin. Okay, just real quick, the key points to the Fat Man Armbar. You want to start after you've broken him down, your right knee or left knee, depending on which side, in his crotch area. Left arm controlling his left wrist. I'm going to bring my right leg out and roll it out. When I do this, I'm going to push up with my hips and pull his wrist toward me, like this. When I do this, his arm's going to come back. I'll use that torque and bring it back on him with both arms, controlling his wrist. And I want to drive him that way, onto his back. Then I'll bring my left arm around and bring it behind his head.
Now we're going to show an escape to the leg ride. Right. So your opponent's going to get a leg in, however he decides to do it. What you're going to do, you're going to sit out, grab this ankle, bring it out to the outside, bring it down, both hands, bring it across your thighs. And when you do this, you keep here, and you push back, rotate towards the head. So the key points, remember, is to sit out, bring leg over top of your hamstring or quads, put it down, bring it underneath your hamstrings, hold it there and push back, and then flip towards head to a pinning combination. So now we're going to go over something called the hip tilt or the cheek tilt. So what you're going to do, you're going to break down your opponent. So we're just going to go as if you already broke him down. It's very similar to the Nearside Cradle, but it's after breaking them down. You'll have a 2-on-1, and you have to make sure the key point is to bring it down to his hips or to his belly. So you might want to drive him forward. When you get to this point, you have to bring your knee to a little bit higher than his hip, and keep this arm across, almost like a bar, and you create pressure by pulling on the wrist. And then you come to the side, pull him over, back into a cheek tilt. So again, remember, key points is when you break them down, to get a 2-on-1, bring the hand on the inside out as a bar, pull the wrist and bring it down to the belly, bring the knee up to a little bit higher than the hip, and then pull and cause tension to bring his back towards you and put him into a tilt, just like the near side. This is Israel Pike and Jordan Lampkin, and this is our video. I hope you learned some things and be able to use it out on the mat. See you later.